Hello, my name's John Benson, and this is my Week 4 video assignment for public speaking. In this video, I'm going to go ahead and recite a memorable speech from a famous person. I chose President Clinton's "I have sinned" speech. Now let me go ahead and set the stage for you and tell you a little bit about this speech and a little bit about what was going to happen later on that day after his speech. The president gave this speech at the White House annual prayer breakfast to over 100 ministers, priests, and other religious leaders who were all assembled in the East Room of the White House. Also in attendance was First Lady Hillary Rodham Clinton. This was a handwritten speech by the president, and he delivered it the morning that Congress was going to receive their initial report from independent counsel Ken Starr. This Starr report laid the grounds for impeachment procedures for the president, accusing Clinton of perjury, obstruction of justice, and other offenses, all resulting from his desire to conceal a relationship with former White House intern Monica Lewinsky. In the speech, the president also includes Lewinsky in his apology, and he refers to his much criticized attempted apology 1 month earlier on August 17th, where he admits that his TV speech was not sufficiently contrite. So, ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the White House, to a day which Hillary, the Vice President, and I look forward to so much every year. This is always an important day for our country for the reasons the Vice President had said. It is an unusual and I think unusually important day today. I may not be quite as easy with my words today as I've been in the past years. I was up rather late last night thinking about and praying about what I ought to say today. And it was rather unusual for me. I actually tried to write it down. So if you will forgive me, I will do my best to say what it is I want to say to you. First, I want to say to all of you, as you might imagine, I've been on quite a journey these last few weeks to get to the end of this, the rock bottom truth of where I am and where we all are. I agree with those who have said that in my first statement after I testified, I wasn't contrite enough. I didn't think there was a fancy way to say that I have sinned. It's important to me that everybody who has been hurt knows the sorrow I feel is genuine. First and most important, my family. Also my friends and my staff and my cabinet, Monica Lewinsky and her family, and the American people. I have asked all for their forgiveness. I believe to be forgiven, though, more than sorrow is required. At least two more things. First, a genuine repentance, a determination to change and repair breaches of my own making. I have repented. Second, what my Bible calls a broken spirit, an understanding that I must have God's help to be the person I want to be, a willingness to give the very forgiveness I seek, a renunciation of the pride and the anger which cloud judgment, lead people to excuse and compare, to blame and complain. Now, what does that mean for me and for us? First, I will instruct my lawyers to mount a vigorous defense of using all available appropriate arguments. But legal language must not obscure the fact that what I did was wrong. Second, I will continue on the path of repentance, seeking pastoral support and that of other caring people so they can hold me accountable for my own commitment. Third, I will intensify my efforts to lead our country and the world towards peace and freedom, prosperity and harmony, in the hope that with a broken spirit and a still strong heart, I can be used for greater good. For we all have many blessings and many challenges and so much work to do. In this, I ask for your prayers and for your help in healing our nation. And though I cannot move beyond or forget this, Indeed, I must always keep it as a caution light in my life. It's very important that our nation move forward. I'm very grateful for the many, many people, clergy and ordinary citizens alike, who have written me with wise counsel. I'm profoundly grateful for the support of many Americans who somehow, through it all, seem to still know that I care about them a great deal, and that I care about their problems and their dreams. I'm grateful for those who stood by me and who say that in this case, and many others, the bounds of privacy have been excessively and unwisely invaded. That may be. Nevertheless, in this case, it may be a blessing because I still sinned. And if my repentance is genuine and sustained, and if I can maintain both a broken spirit and a strong heart, then good can come of this for our country as well as for me and my family. The children of this country can learn in a profound way that integrity is important and selfishness is wrong. But God can change us and make us strong at the broken places. I want to embody those lessons for the children of this country, for that little boy in Florida who came up to me and said he wanted to grow up and be president and to be just like me. I want the parents of all the children in America to be able to say that to their children. A couple of days ago when I was in Florida, a Jewish friend of mine gave me a liturgy book called Gates of Repentance. And there was an incredible passage from the Yom Kippur liturgy. I'd like to read it to you. Now is the time for turning. The leaves are beginning to turn from green to red to orange. The birds are beginning to turn and are heading once more towards the south. The animals are beginning to turn to storing their food for the winter. For leaves, birds, and animals, turning comes instinctively. But for us, turning does not come so easy. It takes an act of will for us to make a turn. It means breaking old habits. It means admitting that we have been wrong, and this is never easy. It means losing face. It means starting all over again, and this is always painful. It means saying I'm sorry. It means recognizing that we have the ability to change, and these things are terribly hard to do. But unless we turn, we will be trapped forever in yesterday's ways. Lord, help us to turn from callousness to sensitivity, from hostility to love, from pettiness to purpose, from envy to contentment, from carelessness to discipline, and from fear to faith. Turn us around, O Lord, and bring us back to you. Revive our lives as at the beginning, and turn us towards each other, Lord, for in isolation there is no life. I thank my friend for that. I thank you for being here. I ask you to share in my prayers that God will search and know my heart, try me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any hurtfulness in me and lead me towards the life everlasting. I ask that God give me a clean heart and let me walk by faith and not by sight. I ask once again to be able to love my neighbor, all my neighbors, as myself, to be an instrument of God's peace, to let the words of my mouth, the meditations of my heart, and in the end, the works of my hands be pleasing. This is what I wanted to say to you today. Thank you, and God bless you. Remember, the original speech was given by President Clinton at the annual prayer breakfast at the White House to over 100 religious leaders. It was given on a stressful and anxious morning prior to Congress receiving their copy of the Starr Report, which outlined impeachment procedures for the president because of his actions in covering up an inappropriate relationship with former intern Monica Lewinsky. This was a very humbling speech for the president, and I felt it while I was preparing for and delivering the speech. I enjoyed this week's video assignment, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos. Thank you.